Hello everyone, and I welcome you all for today's video. And in this video we are going to learn on how to assemble the agribotics kit. So I know like we've been holding you for a very long time, but so this is going to be a big video and I hope you enjoy on how to build it. To build the automated greenhouse, we're going to require all of these materials. There are a total of 5 steps involved in building the automated greenhouse. So during each step, I'll explain you what are the bags number required and the individual component while building the robot. So go along with me step by step, and if you feel stuck somewhere, just pause the video and go back a little bit and watch it again. And as I said earlier, if you need any help, you can always reach out to our instructors to get it resolved. So let's go into the building. A word of caution while building this automated greenhouse: always ask help from your parents while building it so that they can hold up the structures. If you don't have your parents along with you, just ask any of your siblings to join. If not, just sit on the floor and you can do it alone by yourself easily. So now let's go into the building of the structure. Step 1. Building the automated greenhouse. So this is the structure of the automated greenhouse. So this is actually made up of 4 acrylics. If you notice here, one is white and all 3 are transparent. So we have 2 more acrylics. Those are in black colors. So one will act as the bottom plate and the other one will act as the top plate. So for you it might be different. You will have a protective cover on the top like this on both sides. So once you receive the kit, what you need to do is you have to remove the protective cover to see the colors inside. Okay, so that's easy for to use. The first plate which you require is the white one here. The remaining else you can just keep it aside. Keep it safe. Don't place it somewhere you can lose it. So keep it safe somewhere. The first acrylic we're going to use is the white one, as you can see here, and we're going to require the A4 bag and some screws. So if you notice, there are 2 screws back, which you see here. One will be a little bit bigger and another one will be smaller. You have 2 ones. You have the bigger one and we have the smaller one. We're going to use the smaller screws here. Okay, and from bag A4 we're going to get the input board. So let me show you which one is the input board. And bring it outside. You can see it has a blue sensor in the middle and it looks like this. Once you have the input board, the screws and the screwdriver, we're going to fix the input board to the acrylic. So the way you do it is that you take your input board, and if you notice on the back side here, you can see a sensor is available. You're going to place the sensor exactly to this hole which you see here, like this. And make sure this connector is pointing towards upwards here. You can notice it's like this. Once you're done, we're going to take some 2 small screws and nut. Okay. You're going to take the screw, place it on one side and flip it. Take a nut. Once you're done with one side, now let's go to the diagonal part. We're going to fix another screw on this side. Okay, once your nuts are properly placed, just take a screwdriver and just tighten it properly inside. Once you're done, it should look like this. Make sure it's properly fixed in. I hope you can see there are screws, one here, another one on the other side. Now let's move on to the other plate. The step 2 is fixing the fan to the side plate here. Okay, it will be like this. Now we're going to fix the second plate, and if you notice, this is the top side. So make sure this is pointing towards your left hand, and the small hole here should be on the other side. So you should keep your acrylic exactly like how I kept it, or else the fan will be placed on the wrong side. Alright, so make sure it's kept like this. The hole is on that side and the top side is here and like this. So once you're done, you're going to take your fan and you're going to place it on the top. But wait, there is one thing that we should be very careful. We should know which way the air is flowing in. And if you notice on your fan on the side, there is an arrow which indicates which way the air is going in and coming out. Okay, so we want the air to be pumped inside the greenhouse. So we're going to fix it upside down like this. So you can easily figure out by if there is no sticker on the top, you can easily figure out if it's properly placed. Okay, and make sure the wires is also on the top like this, so that it's easy for connections on the top. So now we're going to require the other screw backs, which are the big ones. Okay, so these are the biggest screws which you're going to require, and you're going to require 4 of them. Here's a small trick. We have to insert the screw from the side like this. Then you can just keep your thumb on the top like this and take a nut, then flip it back, then tighten it with a nut. So you might definitely need your parents' help in doing this. If you want, you can always ask them. Once you're done with one side, it's pretty much straightforward and easy for the other sides. You just flip it back here. You take another screw, place it in, flip it again, and place a nut on the one side. Now you just repeat the other steps as well. Insert one screw on this side. Once you're done, all the 4 screws should be like this, and I can show you the other side as well. It should look like, alright. So then you can just take a screwdriver and tighten it if you want. So once you're done with this plate, keep it aside safe. Now we're going to go to the step 3, fixing the components on the top plate. So now we are going to this step 3, where we'll be fixing the electronics on the top plate. Make sure the top plate is faced like this. For indication, make sure this small hole is on the right side and these 4 holes are also on the right side. So the left side should be empty. Make sure you keep the plate on the proper side like this. This 4 holes should be here and this 4 holes should be on the right side. So make sure to always align the components as I do, or else it may be a problem while building the structure. Once you have that, you're going to require 3 bags, bag A4, A1 and A3. So you're going to take the UV lamp which we created in the previous video and some nuts and screws, and as usual our friend the screwdriver. First, let's start with bag A3. We're going to take out our Arduino. I think in the previous video we have learned what is Arduino, which is like the brain of the robot. Not just building the agriculture shield, you can build a lot of robots with this. And if you want to know how to build that, you can see it in our YouTube channel, or you can see our other courses on how to build different robots with Arduino. So we're going to take big screws like this. Alright, so we're going to have 2 is enough. We're going to have 2 screws and nut, and we're going to fix the Arduino with the screws. Take the Arduino here, place 1 screw on this side, hold it up. So ask for your parents' help while you're doing this, because it's going to be a little bit hard. So if you have a sibling, you can ask their help as well. Once you're done, one side is done, and the other one you need to fix it here. Once you're done, just use your screwdriver to tighten it a little bit. Now let's take the bag A4. So inside the bag A4, you're going to find something called a shield. Consider this shield as like the nervous system for the robot. It's going to control the entire structure, and the Arduino is going to act like the brain. I think in our previous video, Mr. Narayan might have explained to you in depth what is a shield. So I'm going to just use it. I'm going to explain to you how it works. So let's take the shield, and you're going to fix it to the Arduino properly like this. Make sure these 12 pins are properly aligned here. And the other side, make sure this 6 pins are properly aligned and push it in. Okay. Once you're done, you can check by making sure there is no free spaces in between the connections. You can see there is no pins available here. It's like properly fixed. I hope you can see this. And on the other side also, you can just check if it's properly connected. This is very important. Sometimes while pushing it in, the pins might like just move a little bit. Just try to align it properly and insert it back. Now we're going to go back to the bag A4, and we're going to take our output board, which looks like this. You have to place the output board in this format, making sure the connector is pointing towards this side. For the output board, we're going to use a smaller screw, which you have in a different bag. So we're going to require 2 of those screws and nut. You're going to fix 1 screw on this side. Once you're done with one side, now let's fix to the other side. If you can. Once you're done, both of the screws should look like this, and on the back side also it should look like this. So if you're done with that, we're going to go with only 2 more components. We're going to go to the bag A1 and we're going to take out something called a spacer like this. It looks like a long piece of metal. Alright, so to connect this, we're going to go with the biggest screw. It's taken from here. You're going to take this and you're going to place it here in the middle. So here's a small trick. The spacer should be kept on the opposite side. So what you need to do is, you need to flip this board here. You're going to take a screw and just push it from the back side like this. Then you're going to take your spacer and screw it in. Okay. Once you're done, just flip it back and then use your screwdriver to tighten it properly. Now we're going to fix the UV lamp that we created to the top plate. So as you notice, there is a small hole in the UV lamp here. We're going to put a small hole in the middle in the same place. If you notice, you're going to take a pen or something or a point, then put a small hole in the middle like that. So then you're going to require a big screw like this. Similarly, we have been using in the top. Just push it in, then tighten it. Take a screwdriver and then tighten it in properly. So once you're done, it should look like this. The wire should be pointing towards the other direction here. So now let's flip it again. And we're going to do one more thing. We're going to fix a fan on the top. So this time, the fan needs to pump out the air outside. So you have to again go back to see where the air direction is there. I think you can notice that the air is coming up like this. So another easy way to figure out is that make sure the sticker is there on the top and place it here like this. Now you're going to require 2 more big screws and nuts to fix up the fan. And place it inside. Flip it again. Put a small nut. Go to the other side again. We are using only 2 screws here. If you notice, it's more than enough. If you want to make it more perfect, you can use 4 screws to fix it in. But I'm just using 2 screws and nuts so that it's easier for me to disconnect it when it's required. Okay, I'm going to just take a screwdriver and screw it in properly. Alright, once you're done, we're almost ready with the structures. Now we're going to build the entire thing together using nuts and screws. I hope you have attached all the electronics in the acrylic plate. So in the next video, we are going to learn on how to construct the entire greenhouse. And I'll see you in the next video.